Hey there, how is it going? My name is Destiny and welcome back to my channel. So actually in this video, we're actually going to go ahead and start making the create, update, delete, and I think that's it. Yeah, create, update, delete, and there's one more. What is it? List. So we are going to list our posts, which we already have here, but this time around we're going to do it with a class-based views, and we're also going to create. We're going to have the options, or let's say the function to update and the function to delete. So I want to welcome guys to the 10th part of this course, and if you've been following along from the first part, it really means a lot to me. You guys are really digging this video, and let's just go ahead and get started. Let's stop wasting any more time. So we just want to get to the post views.py. So for a very long time we have been working in the users app. Now we just want to get back to the views.py, this one over here. So we've been working with functions here. Right now we're going to go ahead and start working with class-based views. So in order to start working with class-based views, what we just want to do is come over here and we want to import. Let's just start importing from here. We're going to import the list view from django.views.generic. So we're going to say from django.views.generic, we want to import the list view. So we import the list view, and actually when it comes to class-based views, things actually get a little bit different. And that means you see this over here that we are using to display. You see the stuff over here that when I comment it out, no post is going to show up again. All this is just gonna change. Things are gonna look different. So let me actually get this back on track. Let me get this. Okay, so let's actually go ahead and start working. Right now I'm just gonna comment this out over here, and we're just gonna comment this one too out. So let's just comment it out. Then we're gonna start working down here. So in order to start working with class-based views, we are not going to use define, home, request, and all that again. Right now we're going to use class, and we're going to call this post list view, and this is not going to inherit from request any longer. Now it's going to inherit from the list view that we imported. So all we have to do here now is just call the model that we want to use, and that's the post model. You guys already know this one over here. That's the post model, and take note, that's all we just have to do. We don't have to do anything again. All we just need to do now is just get back to our urls.py. So our urls.py over here, we want to import from dot views. We want to import the post list view. So we import the post list view, and down here we're not going to work with any of this any longer. So let's just comment them out, and we're going to start working with the post list view. So all we're just going to say here now is parts. So we define a new part, and this is going to be the home. The next thing we need is to call the post list view, and we're going to call as view. So when working with class-based views, we actually use this to trigger the view method. So we're going to say as view, and the next thing it's going to take is just the name. So the name is going to be post dash list, something like that, or let's say post home. So we actually stick with naming convention. We're going to say post home, post update, post delete, and all that. So this now, I think we're just pretty much done. All we just need to do is just go ahead and refresh this website, but something is going to happen. As you can see, we get template does not exist at slash. So it's actually looking for the template in a directory named blog, and it's looking for the template name as post_list.html. So does that ring a bell to you? Yeah, it does. All we just need to do is come over here and change this home.html to post_list.html, and everything is gonna work fine. But no, I don't want to do that. I actually want to stick with the name home.html. But now what we're gonna do is just come over here and define a template name. So we're gonna tell Django, hey, we don't want to use post_, let me just go back to there. We don't want to use post_list.html as a template. Rather, we want to use home.html. So home.html, we want to use that as a template. So when we come over here now and refresh, what do you notice? Everything still works perfectly fine. But now it says a reverse for blog home not found. This is not a valid pattern name, something like that. So actually we just need to copy this, come over to our urls.py, numpy, and we're gonna change this to exact same thing that it was. So you could just manually go into your code and change that to post home if you want, but we used blog home over here, then we came over here now and used post home, so that's why we're getting that error. Let's just stick with blog home. There's nothing bad about that. So with this now, everything should still work fine. Let's see where we're getting the error. Okay, we are getting the error in here that says no function blog about. Okay, let's just uncomment this one so we don't get much errors. With this now, when we refresh, what do you notice? Everything is gonna work fine. Let's just refresh this again and let me see what's wrong in my terminal. Let's just come over here and let's see. It says okay, it has no attribute. Okay, that's because we commented this out. Where is it? That's because we commented this out. So let's just still leave it on and we come over here and refresh. Let's see. Okay, and as you can see, everything actually works fine, but our post isn't showing up any longer. So we want to make our post show up. We need to get back to our home.html where our posts are. So right now we are using this post over here, and this is the context object name. Okay guys, so right now Django is in actually saying the posts context object that we're using. And that's because we haven't actually told Django, hey, we want to use posts as the context object name. And in order to tell Django that we want to use post as context object name, we just need to come over to our blog views, and over here we need to define the context object name, and we're gonna set it to posts. So posts, just like that. And now when we come over here to our website and refresh, what do you notice? All our posts are back. So right now, as you can see, the class base view is actually looking pretty good, not bad so far. So we can just go ahead and get rid of this, or let me just leave it for you guys as reference. So right now we have all our posts back again, and that's really amazing. But there's one thing that we are encountering, and I don't really like that. So right now our posts are counting from the first to the last. Now let's say you want to read someone's tweet post on Twitter. You don't actually want to see the latest posts down, you want to see them at the top. So as long as so immediately you come into Twitter, you just want to see the latest post at the top, you don't want to see them down. So how do we do that? We just want to come over here and want to define a function called ordering. So ordering, we're going to set this to a list, and this list, what we want to set it to is date dash posted. So I think it should be in a string here. So date dash posted. So with date dash posted, it's going to count from top to bottom. So that's what, let's see what it says. Can I resolve this? Date posted. I think, is that what I think it's date underscore posted. Yes, let's refresh this. Okay, it's date underscore posted. So what date underscore posted is going to do now, it's going to count our posts from oldest to newest. But how about we want to count from newest to oldest? What do we want to do? We just want to come over here and add a minus at the back. So now when we refresh this, you'll see that we now have the newest post at the top, and that's actually pretty cool. So I think that's pretty much what we want to do over here. That looks pretty cool for the listing of our posts. Now let's just go ahead and add the detail view. So it's gonna just help us show the detail of any post. When we click on this post, it's gonna show us the detail of the post. It's gonna show us if we want to update or if we want to delete the post and all that. So this one over here is listing out all the posts. This one that we're gonna do now is gonna show the detail of the post. And if you don't understand, let's take YouTube for example. So when you land on the YouTube homepage, what do you see? You see a whole lot of videos. Those ones are the list view. So those ones are these that we have done over here. Now let's say you clicked on a particular video. Now it takes you to another page that has the details of the video, the description, the comments, the statistics, the analytics and all that. So that's the detail of the video. So actually we want to do the detail of our post. Now how do we do that? We need to come over here and import detail view again. So we're going to say detail view. Then down here we need to define another class, and we're going to call this post detail view, just like that. And we're gonna inherit from the detail view that we imported. So with this now, you know how we're gonna work. We're gonna say model is gonna be post, just like that. And I think that's pretty much what we just need to do. The next thing we need to do is go ahead and define the URL for it. We're just gonna come over here and duplicate this like that, and over here we're gonna have a dynamic URL. Let me just get rid of this and make sure that we are importing post detail view from the top. So this URL is going to be dynamic, and what I mean by dynamic is you see that we have 4 blog posts over here. When we click on this, we want to automatically know that this is the first post, but this is the first post and we want to get everything in it. When we click on this, we want to automatically know that this is the second post and we want to get everything in it, and so on and so forth. Now, how do we do that? So we do that by defining a path firstly, and we're going to open up a string, and this string we're going to set it to a post. So we want to go over to /post/ integer pk. So integer, we're going to go to pk and we're going to go to / again. I know you might not understand what this does, but don't worry, I'm still going to explain all this in a minute. And we want to call the post detail view just like that, and you remember the asView method that we are using. Then finally we're going to define a name. So we're going to say the name should be let's just say blog detail. Yeah, let's just say blog detail, just like that. So with this now, I'm still going to explain what this does, but let's just get over here, refresh this, and make sure everything is still working fine. So when we come over to /posts/1, what do you notice? It says page not found. Actually, we're supposed to get the first blog post. So let's get over here and see if this is our first blog post. So we click on this, and as you can see, it's not 5. So we've actually deleted some posts when we've been working. So actually what we want to go to is /5, so that we're going to see that. Okay, and it's actually working now, but it just says templates does not exist. So it's looking for a template in this directory blog, and the name of template is supposed to be post_delete. So over here, let's just right click here, and we're going to create a new HTML file, and it's going to be post_detail. Sorry, I say delete, so post_detail. And over here, what we just want to do is I think we should just request for the post in here. Yeah, so let's just request for the post, or instead let's just come over to our to our home.html, and we're going to copy everything and post it here and paste it here in our post_detail. So we need to remove the for loop now, because we don't actually want to go through, like, loop through everything again. We actually have what we are looking for now. So we get rid of the for loop. And also I think we should get rid of the author. Okay, let's just stick with this now and come over here and see what we have. So now when we refresh, you see that we have this, but it's still not getting the post_author. So right now we need to change this over here to object. So we need to change this to object, and let's just do that. So we're gonna say object, and when we refresh now, you see we get Destiny. So I told you guys earlier that by default Django does not actually know that the context object name is gonna be post. By default, it's looking for object as the context object name. So that's what it's looking for, and also this should be object. So with this now, you see we get the first blog post, and let's also try getting the other one. So when we come over to /6, you see we get the second one. When we come over to /7, you see we get the third one. When we come over to /8, then you see we get this one that Tom wrote. So these are actually the detail of each post. Now let me explain what this stuff over here does, this URL thing. Now when we come over to post, which is what we did over here, we came over to post, then this one over here that's integer column pk. Let me just tell you guys what it does. You remember when I came over here and actually I clicked on this post and saw that the ID is 6, so it's like the 6th post that we have done. Then that's pretty much what we are doing here. We want to pass in the ID of the post, so we're passing in the ID, but now right now it's not ID that we're using. We're actually using pk, and it's called primary key. So we are passing in the key of the post. So when a post is created, automatically it creates an ID for it, or a key, whatever you want to call it. So it's that key that we're now using to access each post. Hopefully you understand what I just say over here. So I think that's pretty much what we need to do. We just want to come over here to our home.html, and let me just get back to the home and change this link over here, so that when we click on it, it takes us to the particular detail. So how do we do that? We need to just come over to our base.html. or I think no, it's supposed to be the home.html. And over here in the post title, yes, in the post title, we need to get rid of the hash and define a URL. This URL is gonna be, you should go to posts, or I think you should go to blog-detail. So it's going to blog-detail. Let me make sure that that's what we use here. This is a blog-detail. And also we need to pass in the ID of any particular one that it's going to. So it needs to be posts.id. So with this now, when we come over here now and refresh, okay, it says could not pass. Actually, I think I was making a mistake. This is supposed to be double curly brackets. We're supposed to have percentage signs there. Then we're gonna have URL. It should go to blog-detail, and finally we need to set posts.id. So when we come over here right now and refresh, click on this, it takes us to the particular one. We click on this, it takes us to the particular blog post too, and so on and so forth. Hopefully you understand what we are doing. It's quite easy, not difficult. Right now we want to go ahead and create a function that's going to allow users automatically create posts by themselves instead of coming to our admin page and creating the post. And let me just get rid of some tabs over here. I think this place is getting a little bit clustered. Let's just get rid of some of this and that. So right now I want to open up the views. I want to open up the URLs here. Okay, back to the views. I want to import the crate. So I'm going to import crate over here, and we want to create a new one. So this is going to be class post crate view. Post crate view, it's going to inherit from the crate view that we imported, and the model that we want to query. Okay, this one is going to be kind of different. So firstly, we need a model and its post, and we also need a field. So we need fields. That's our okay, we need fields that our users are going to use to create the post. For example, you know, this is a blog post. We need like a title field, a place that's going to allow them impute the title. We need a place that's going to allow them impute the content and also their user. So okay, that's kind of okay. So over here we just want to pass in title, so we need them to automatically impute that title. So we need them to manually impute that title, and we need them to manually impute the contents themselves. So they're going to manually impute the title and manually impute the content. So let's go over to our urls.py, and we're going to create a new one. I think we could just duplicate this over here, and this is going to go to create. So whenever they go to /create, yeah, it should now work. Or let's say whenever they go to posts-new, then it should work, and we should make sure that we are importing a post create view, and it should be over here, post create view dot as view. Let's make sure that we are getting the spellings correct. Dot as view, and this should be blog new. Yeah, blog new. Okay, so with this now, when we come over here and refresh, everything should work fine. Then when we come over to /post/new, we should get a new page. So we get a new page. It's actually working, but there is no template for it. So it's a template to the name of post_form. So in order to do that, let's just come over here, right click, come over here, and we're going to create a new HTML file, and it's going to be post.form. So with this now, when we refresh, you see it works fine, but we don't actually have anything in here in our post_form.html. So what are we going to do? Let's just come over to our register page and copy what we have in there. So we're going to use what we have in the register page to build up our post create form. So post_form, we're going to use what we have in our register to actually make that work. So with that now, when we refresh, you see we have this title, content, and we have sign up. Rather, we want to change this to make post or create post, or let's say new post. Then it's going to be new post, and this one over here is going to be create, or let's just say posts. Then okay, I think we are supposed to get rid of this. Yeah, we are supposed to get rid of this one over here, and this one is supposed to say something like let's still leave this, let's not get rid of it. We're gonna change this one to cancel, or let's say go back. Let's say the user changed their mind and they want to create again, so that one is going to take them back, and it should take them to blog home here. So this one over here is going to be posts, so this is going to allow them post, and this one is going to be new post. So this, now when we refresh, as you can see, we have go back, it's going to take them back. But when I come over to /posts/new, now they can create their own posts. So let's try creating a post now. Let's say blog post 5, and let's say this is my 5th blog post. Now when we click on post, what do you notice? Actually, it's kind of confused right now. It doesn't know the author that it's gonna assign it to. So it doesn't know the author to assign it to. It says not null constraints failed blog underscore posts and all this. So it doesn't know where to assign it to. So all we need to do is just come over here. Let's get back to our views.py, and over here we need to assign an author. So we also need to assign an author. Let's make sure there's a comma over here, and we're gonna say author. So when we come over here now, refresh this. Let's refresh this again. Let's just refresh this again. Okay, let's say I think we are having an error over here. What's the error? We are missing one of that. Yes. So we refresh this now. Author, we choose destiny. Title, we choose blog posts 5. Actually, we are still gonna fix this, that allows us to choose author by ourselves. We are still gonna fix that. Content, this is my 5th blog post and post. So we post, actually it worked, so it says no URL to redirect to. Now let's try coming over to port 8000. You see that it's actually worked. Blog post 5, and this is my 5th blog post, but right now it doesn't know where to redirect them to. It's like confused. Yeah, let's just use that word, it's confused. It doesn't know where to redirect to. So what are we supposed to do? Firstly, let's just get back to our models.py. So we get back to our models.py, and I think it should not be this one, it should be this one over here. So in order to fix this, okay, firstly I told you guys that we're gonna fix this the thing over here that allows us choose auto automatically. So we don't actually need this. Let's firstly fix that. We want it to like automatically pick the logged in user as the author. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Now how do we actually do that? In order to do that, we need to do it in our views.py. So let's just get back to our views.py, and just below here, that's where we need to do it. So we need to define form underscore valid, and it's gonna take in self, and it's also gonna take in form. So now take a close look at what I'm doing. So I want to get the instance of the author that's logged in. So I want to get the instance of the author. This over here is going to get like the author, like the person that's trying to post this, whoever person that's trying to post it, and it's gonna set it to the author that's logged in. So here we're gonna have self.request.user. So let me explain what's going on here. Firstly, we got whatever author that wants to post this, then we set it to the current logged in user. Let's say Tom wants to post this and Tom is not logged in, then it's not going to be possible. So Tom has to be logged in for him to post this. So hopefully you understand what went on there. And again, we just want to return super. So we want to return super dot form underscore valid, and we're going to pass in form in there. So with this now, when we come over here and come over to slash post, sorry, not dots, slash post slash new. Now what do you notice? We still have this over here, so we just want to get rid of the field that actually has it. We're gonna get rid of the field. I think I'm doing what I'm not supposed to do. Put that. So with this now, we refresh. I think we should not have it any longer. And if we try making a blog post, let's just say 2021 whatever, let's say post 2021 post, or let's say coding in 2021 coders. Then let's say this is a list, whatever. I'm just typing anything. Then we click on post. You see, it actually worked, but right now it doesn't know where to take us to. So let's refresh this. You see that it actually worked, 2021 coders, but it don't actually know where to take us to. So you see, what we did over here actually works. Now it gets the instance of the user that's logged in and he posts, and it automatically creates a post with the user that's logged in. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. So right now let's fix this error that says improperly configured URL. So in order to fix that, in this one we need to get to our models.py, and just down here we need to create a new I think firstly let's just import reverse. We're still gonna use it. Let's just say from Django Django.urls we want to import reverse. So we're going to import reverse, and to use it down here we just want to define a get underscore absolute URL. So get absolute URL method. So we're going to define a function, get absolute URL function, and it's going to take itself as a parameter. So we want to return reverse. We return reverse post dash detail. So what this means is that when a post is created, we want to take them to the detail of the post. Hopefully you understand. When a post is created, we're going to take them to the detail of the post. And how are we going to know the detail of the post? What if there are a whole lot of posts? Now Django is going to get confused, like it's not going to know the particular post to direct them to. So we need to specify that, hey, take me to the post that I just created. And how do we do that? We need to set a keyword ask, and this keyword ask is going to set to a dictionary, and this dictionary, there's going to be a string in it that has a pk key, and this pk key is going to have self let me make sure I'm getting that .pk, just like that. So self.pk, and I hope this is gonna work fine. Yeah, so let's try working with this now. Let's just get back, refresh this, everything works fine. Let's say coding in 2021, let's say hello coders, then let's post. Okay, so it says no reverse for this found. It's not a func pattern, like it's not a valid pattern name. I think that's not what we use. Let's get back here and see what we used actually blog detail. So we used blog dash detail. So let's refresh this, and we get here coding in 2021. So with this now we can add another post. Let's say programmers life, and we're gonna say we all know that coding is fun. Now when we post this, it brings us here programmers life, and when we go home you see that we are beginning to have a whole lot of posts on that destiny. So right now I want to log out and log in as someone else. So I want to log out and let's log in as Tom. You remember the dude? Yeah, Tom. We're gonna log in as Tom. Now we log in and we want to create a new post as Tom. So we're gonna come over here, we're gonna say post / new, and this one is gonna be with Tom. So I'm not really good at, let's just use this over here. Seriously, stop trying to learn to code. Then let's say whatever here, as a baby I loved computers. Then let's just post this. So as you can see, it says stop trying to learn to code, and it's as a baby I love computers. Now when we get home, you see that actually Tom posted it. It actually automatically detects his profile picture, and it automatically detects that, hey, it's Tom that want to post this, and it posts in the name of Tom, and actually brings him to the detail page without any improperly configured URL error. So hopefully and what we are doing, and as you can see, we're actually making progress with what we are doing. So with this now, I think that's pretty much what we want to do, apart from the fact that right now let's log out. So if a user is logged out, he can still access the profile page. Okay, so that's not working. That's actually pretty good. But now a user is logged out, he can still access a post. So he can still manually access a post, let's say 8, Okay, this is so bad. So as you can see, a user is logged out, but he's accessing Tom's post. Now, what it simply means is that when you are logged out, when you are logged out of Twitter, they don't want you to be able to actually access your profile page, or they don't want you to be able to access your post or other people's posts when you are logged in. So you remember what I told you guys about login required when we're working with function in the homepage. Let me see if I can just get real quick. Let's get over to views.py. So you remember this over here, this login required thing. I think I also need to put it in here. That's actually restricts a user that's not logged in from accessing the profile page. Yeah, so you remember we are actually gonna do that right now. So let's just get over to our views.py here, and we want to import what is called login mixin. So how do we do that? We're gonna say from Django.contrib. So from Django.contrib.auth.mixins. So we want to import login required mixin. So I'm just going to copy this login required mixin, and I'm going to put it in front of all the views. So before the list view, we add in the login required mixin. And if you don't want them to also if you don't want like an unauthorized user, an unauthenticated user to access the detail view, you add it there. You don't want them to create, you also add it there. So wherever you don't want, you add them there. So right now when we refresh, what do you notice? It tells them, hey, before you access that page, you want to log in. So right now when we log in, okay, I think that user isn't active, so let's log in as Tom. So we log in as Tom, we log in as testing321 as the password. Now when we log in, we can access that. And I know this is kind of still bad. There's something that's not still working here. I know you guys haven't seen it yet, but we're still gonna fix it. Let me not just talk about it now. We're still gonna fix it in the upper video. So with this now, I think that's what we want to do. Let's just go ahead and create our updates so we can be able to update posts that we created. For example, let's say I had a typo over here and I want to update it. How am I going to do that? So I'm going to be stuck. Actually, we want to create a function that's going to help us do that. So back to our views.py. Over here, we want to import the update view. So we import the update view, and we're going to create a class for it. So we're going to say class should be post update view, and it's gonna inherit from update view. Yeah, okay guys, so it's gonna inherit from update view. And over here, what we just want to do is very simple. Firstly, we want to query the model, which is post. Also, we need some fields just like we were using over here. So we also need this. We're gonna put it in here. Also, we need this one over here. So we want a user that's logged in to be the one to make their posts. So we still want that, and I think that's pretty much what we want to do. We also want to let's add in the login required mixin. We do not want unauthenticated users to actually update the post. So we add all this. I think we are good to go. Let's just cross check everything, and everything is actually good. Now let's make its URL. So its URL is going to be very, very similar to this one over here, apart from the fact that we're going to go to post. So we want to go to post / the integer pk / the detail. Yes, oh no, or let's actually go to the update here. It should be the update. Then we want to make sure that we are importing the post update view over here, and we're gonna override this one with the post update view, and this is it's gonna be the post update, and this should be a comma over there. So with this now, I think we're still going to be using the same template. That's let me just get back to it. So I think we're still going to use the same template. Let's just try updating a post now and see what we have. So we come over here, then we come over to update. Okay, this is kind of nice. So now when we say stop trying to code and we say updated, and we post this, what do you notice? It's actually updated. That's actually nice, updated. So how about we want to update this blog post tree? So we want to update it. Then we come over to /update, and we say coding in the 90s. so coding in the 90s, and we actually updated. So you see it updates it. Now when we get home, you see that it's now coded in the 90s. So actually our update view is working perfectly fine. I think that's pretty much what we should be doing for the update view. There's one more thing that we want to do. We actually want to add in we want to add in a login required mixin. And there's one more thing I want to tell you guys. So we want to make an author of a post to be the one to be able to update their posts. So let me explain what that means. For example, you are logged in as, let's see, we are logged in as Tom over here. We don't want Tom to be able to update Destiny's posts. So right now Tom is logged in, but Tom can actually come over here and update Destiny's post. Destiny, okay, this should be updated. Okay, that's not actually nice, so this should be updated, and let's just say updated by Tom. Updated by Tom. And now when we post this, come back home, you see that this is Programs Live updated by Tom. Actually it was Destiny that did this. So see Tom over here. When we log out, we log in again. We are logging in as Destiny this time around. We log in. Now this is Tom post. We can actually still update it for him. So we can actually still update Tom post, and we're not supposed to be able to do that. So we can say updated by Destiny, and when we click on post, you see updated by Destiny. And actually, let me get back here. Let me get back to the home. You see updated by Destiny, and it was Tom posts. So we don't actually want this to work. We actually want each users to be able to update their own posts. Now how do we do that? We need to import a mixin called user passes test mixin from the same place that we import the login required mixin. So users passes test mixin, and we also want to add this just after this. I think it should be over here. Yes, it should be over here. Then there should be a comma, and we also want to add this to all the class-based views. So we're gonna add one over here, we're gonna add one over here, and we also need one over here. So we paste this in. So right now when we refresh this page, it says is missing an implementation of test on the function. Okay, that's actually supposed to happen. So in the post update, we are supposed to define a test function, and in order to do that, we're gonna say define test underscore func. It's gonna take in self as a parameter. Now we're gonna say post should be equal to self dot get underscore objects, and in there we're gonna just come down here, and the next thing we're gonna say is if request dot user is equal to the post dot author. So I'm gonna explain all this. So if request is, then we want to return true. So else, what do we want to do? So else we're just gonna return false, or let's just say return false. No need of typing out that. So if this we return true, then we return false if it's else. So now let's come over here and refresh this. Okay, let's just get back, and this should work now. So it says okay, in post detail, I think we also need that in post detail. We didn't really need it in post detail. Let's just get rid of it in post detail. We just need it in post create. So we need it in post create. Well, let's make sure we are adding this test func to post create, and request.user, let's make sure we add it over here. Post create should be here. Let's get okay, fix the indentation. Okay, so let's get back. So everything is working fine now. So you see Destiny is logged in. Now let's try updating someone else's post. Let's get home. Okay, it says post list is missing implementation of test func. I think we still have it here. We want to get rid of it in the list view. So this is it. We want to get rid of it in the list view and refresh this page again. So everything is working fine now. Now we want to try updating someone else's post. So let's try updating Tom's post. We come over here, come over to /update. Let's get this update. And what do you say? It says name request is not defined, and I think it's this over here. If request, let's see. Okay, it's supposed to be if self. So if self.request, that's what we are supposed to be using. And also there's somewhere else here, it's supposed to be if self.request. So with this now, let's refresh this. And what do you notice? We get a 403 forbidden. So this is actually what we want. If a user that's not the logged in user tries updating someone else's post, then they are going to get an error that says 403 forbidden. So they are forbidden from doing that. Actually, that's what we want. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and make a user to be able to actually delete posts themselves. So we want a user to actually delete posts. Now, how do we do that? It's quite easy. What you just want to do is go ahead over to our views.py, and we want to import the delete view from here, and we're going to create a class for it. Come down here, we're going to create a class, and this should be post delete view, and it's going to inherit from the delete view. It's very easy. The model that we're querying is the post model, and let's see, I think that's pretty much what we want. We also need a test func for it. So in the test func, so a user will be able to delete their own post and not other ones, other people's posts. So hopefully you understand what I'm actually saying there. Now we need to get to the urls.py and fix up some things over here. We're gonna duplicate that, and this should be very similar. So this one is going to be delete. When we go over there, we delete a post. Make sure we are importing post delete view, and this should be post delete view that has view, and this should be blog delete. Hopefully you understand what's going on. Now when we refresh this, we come into this post and we come over to delete. Now it says template does not exist. So actually it worked fine, but we don't actually have a template that should say something like, hey, do you want to delete this post? We don't actually have the template that's going to say that. So let's come over here and create the template. I just want to copy this name over here, so I'll make sure that I'm sticking with the naming convention, and I'm going to right click, come over to HTML, and I'm going to create that. So with this now, I'm just going to get rid of this, come over to the HTML, and we're just going to copy the form. So let's just copy the form here. So let's just copy everything in here in the register page. So we copy everything, come over to post_form delete, paste it in here. So right now, this is what we have. We don't want to be joined today. We just want to say something like delete. Let me make sure that I'm actually there. So this should be like delete page, delete post here. Let's just say it should be delete post. That's actually better. And I want to get rid of this form. I don't need any form here. Well, I also want to make this button should be delete. Let's make this button delete. So this button is going to be delete, and what I just need to say here is some very simple. It should be something like let me see, h1 hello. Let's see where this is going to be. So it's actually here. Okay, let's just say, hey, do you want to delete this post? Hey, do you want to delete this post? And let's call the name of the post. So we're just going to say request.title. Yes, so it should be request.title. So when we refresh, it says, hey, do you want to delete this post? It doesn't actually call the request.title. Let's see. Okay, I think it's not request.title. I think it's posts.title. So let's refresh this. Posts.title. Let's get back to the home and see if that's what we are actually using. So in the home, we have post.author, posts.title. That's actually supposed to work. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, how about we try using like object? Let's see, object.title. Okay, that actually worked here. Yes, it actually worked. So this is way too big. Let's reduce this to like 3. Okay, that's bad. Let's say 4. Okay, this is better. So he says, hey, do you want to delete this post? Stop trying to learn to code. And let's actually make this stand out a bit. So we're going to cut this, make sure it's on a B tag, and we should have like quotes there, and we'll paste it in there. So he says, hey, do you want to delete this post? Stop trying to learn to code updated. Now when we hit the delete button, it actually doesn't know where to go to because that post doesn't exist again. So you delete something, it doesn't know where to go to. It's actually confused. So right now what this error is saying is that, hey, please tell me where to go to. And how do we do that? So we need to define a success URL. And how do we define a success URL? So we just need to come over here and define a success URL. So success URL should just go to /. So you should just go back to the home. So right now let's just try deleting the post again. And how about a user changes their mind and they don't want to delete a post? Like they just say, no, I don't want to delete this post again, I want to go back. So how do we do that? Over here, let's just change this to go back. So this should be go back, and it should just go back to blog-home. So when we refresh this now, if we click on this, it takes them back. Now let's try deleting this post /delete. And when we click on delete, what do you notice? The post is gone. So let's say we want to delete this one, programmer's life. When we click on this, come over to delete, and when we click on delete, the post is gone. So actually it's working fine right now. What we just want to do is go ahead and make some buttons. We don't want to keep coming over to /post/new before we actually create a new post. We just want to click a button and we should be able to create a new post. So let's just add a button over here that's going to allow us create a new post. So how do we do that? Let's just come over to our base.html, and you see these buttons over here. We are gonna just copy one. So let's just copy this one over here, and we want to paste it down here, and this one is gonna be create post. So this one is going to be create post. When we refresh now, we have 3 of this. So create post, profile, and logout. Actually, this is okay. I'm still going to space them out though. Yeah. So this should be create post. Now this is supposed to go to blog-new. Now let's come over to our URL and see. So it's blog-new. That's actually what we want. Now when we refresh this, click on create post. Okay. What's going on? It says must be called with either an object pk or a slug in the URL. So actually something is wrong. Let's see. So all we just need to do is get rid of this user passes test mixin in the create view. It's not supposed to be there, and also we need to get rid of the test func from there. Now when we refresh, all this should perfectly work fine. So now from the home, we click on create post. We can now create a new post. We can say this is a new post, and we can just say hello guys. Then when we click on post, now you see it creates a new post. So when we go home, you see this is a new post, and as you can see, everything is working totally fine. We also need to add the update so that a user can be able to update their post. For example, from here we need to add like an update button somewhere here, so a user can be able to update their post from here. Exactly. So how do we do that? Now we need to do that in the post detail. So over here in the post detail, I think it should just be somewhere, let's just say it should be underscore, it should be below here, date underscore posted. So over here, yes. So what you just need to do is very simple. We just firstly want to check if a user is the one that posted the post and if the user is logged in. So if the user that posted the post is logged in, that's what we want to check. So we just want to say if objects, so if object.author is equal to the user that's logged in now, then very simple, what we just want to do is define a link, and this link is going to have a very simple class. It's going to be a bootstrap class, and we can name this btn. This should be btn-primary, and the primary these should be like success here, because they want to update. So btn-success, they should go to the update, but update link should be URL, then it should go to blog update, blog dash update, and this over here is going to be update. So let's come over here and refresh this. Okay, we are getting an error. We forgot to end if. Let's just come over here and make sure that we are ending if. So end if. Now when we refresh, it says no reverse found for block updates. Actually, let me see if that's what I used. So block updates, that's perfectly what I used. Let's see. So over here we just end this off, block updates. I think we still need to add object ID. So objects dot ID, and it should work fine. So now we have updates so that they can update the post, and we also need delete. So let's say a user one also delete the post, and we're just gonna get that down and we're gonna say delete. So this one should be danger, so this one should be btn dash danger, or let's actually use the outline dash danger. We refresh, this is delete, this is update, this should be btn dash outline dash success, or it should be secondary. So when we refresh now, you see we have update and delete, update and delete. Actually, let me use success. I think it looks more better. So success, update, delete. And I want to wrap this in a div, so let's just call this out and we're gonna wrap it in a div. So wrap this in a div, put them in here so it comes to a new line. Actually, this is what I want, then I'm just gonna break it down. So I know this isn't really the good way of doing things, but let's just do it for now. So I break it down like that, and I want to indent this, so I'm gonna indent that. Okay, this is what we have right now, not still really breaking down what I want. Let me paste this over there, and hopefully it should break down. It's not still breaking down. Let's see. This is the time, date underscore posted, break over there. Okay, this is still good, not bad. So actually right now Destiny is logged in, that's why Destiny is able to come over here and see update or delete. So let's Destiny try updating Tom's own. So over here, can you see that? No, it's not actually there. So it's actually working really good. Hopefully you understand what we are doing. So over here we get update and delete. Now we can either update this post, we can say updated, and when we click on post, you see it gets back here and says updated. We can also delete if we want. Okay, the delete is not actually going to block delete, so you should go to block delete. So now when we get back here, refresh this, delete, it says do you want to delete this post? We delete, it brings us back to the home. Okay, this is really amazing, and I think we have really done a whole lot of things in this video, and you've learned a whole lot of features that you'll be adding to your next project and make things actually look really awesome. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys, and hopefully you really enjoyed it and learned a whole lot of things. And if you did, don't forget to drop a like on this video, consider subscribing, and also drop a comment on this video. And I hope I'll see you guys in the next video. We'll start working with paginations, and you guys are really gonna enjoy it. So see you there. Mad love, peace out.